Good morning, good morning, good morning. Michael Searle, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Charles Blain?
I am doing great. Brad Swail in the country of Iran. What is going on back there?
That's a
Mothership.
Iranian drone just launched from the mothership.
Wow.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's some drones and there's an Iranian mothership.
Is that what's coming off of the eastern seaboard of Jersey, the great state?
I think we should circle back to one Lauren Boebert and her congressional testimony questioning about underwater bases.
Mm-hmm.
Do tell.
We already talked about it on the show where she was talking about underwater bases, alien bases.
Okay, but what is going on in New Jersey is not of alien nature. We know that.
Oh, you say? How do you know that?
Well, we're going to get into it. Thank you for tuning in to everyone. Please like, share, comment, tell your friends, and make sure you do share because we are giving away free hats to someone who wins if you share our podcast. Brad has his, even
finally,
because of that egg-shaped head. Michael's got more in his hand that he's willing to give out. Mine's back at my domicile, and we're going to be giving them out. So thank you for tuning in. This week's episode is going to be very interesting because we're going to start off talking about something that's going on. It really should be a national news story. Truly, it should be leading every paper in this country. It should be on the top of the hour of every news station because the greatest, most powerful, more black bear per capita than any state, horses galore, used to be the chief exporter of eggplant, cranberry bog state, New Jersey, is being inundated.
Certainly a bog of a state, that's for sure.
Inundated with drones, and there is no answer to where they are coming from, who is controlling them, and what is going on in the great state of New Jersey. It's kind of crazy. I'm assuming both of you have heard about this.
I mean, it's when you say that it should be the top story. It is the top story. People are talking about it all over the place.
But it should be there are hundreds of drones storming a state night after night, and it's not leading every news story.
I mean, it's pretty popular news right now, but yeah. What do you think? I mean,
it's that and the United Health CEO. That's what's up the top of the headlines right now.
United Health CEO.
Huh?
So, okay. So, for those who don't know the story, if you've been under a rock, I'm assuming everyone knows the story. There are drones for
Iran, not Iraq.
What?
It's Iran, not Iraq.
Who said Iraq?
He said if you've been under Iraq.
Oh. For the past couple of days, there have been drones storming the state of New Jersey. Every night, about 8 counties in New Jersey are seeing these drones fly over. Some are saying they're the size of SUVs. Others are saying they're about 6 feet in diameter. No one's seeing where they're taking off or landing. No one knows who's controlling them. The state of New Jersey says that it's not them. Picatinny Arsenal and some of the other bases and arsenals in New Jersey say they have nothing to do with it. The federal government says they have no idea what it is. A New Jersey state senator is calling for a limited state of emergency, and they are alleging, some in the federal government are alleging that there is a mothership from Iran or China that is off the coast of New Jersey, which somehow we just don't see. And they are being deployed from that. So there's a lot of theories going around. What do you guys think? What's going on? Truly. Michael.
Oh, me first. Oh, man. I don't know what's going on. What I can say with a lot of certainty is they don't want us to know that they know what's going on. And I don't know why. The U.S. government, they know what's happening, right? Is it safe to assume that they actually know what's going on, but they're not telling us what's going on?
Are you insinuating the U.S. government would lie?
No. Never.
Stop it.
They can track human beings to a McDonald's. Like, they can't figure out where these hundreds of drones are coming from and where they're landing. I think they know. I think they're telling us they don't know. If I had to speculate about what the origin of these are, I mean, I've heard a lot. Well, I've seen the videos, so they make noise. They're not really moving at huge rates of speed or defying the laws of physics. Or there's been some reports of that, but mostly it's like, yeah, they're buzzing overhead, making a bunch of noise. I think it's U.S. black budget tech that they don't want to admit that it's them. I don't think it's alien.
Why don't you explain to our viewers what U.S. black budget tech is?
There are good point. Our viewers are very smart. They know what
Or
that
slate
is.
to be, because I have no idea what the hell.
The theory is that there are government programs that are not on the books. So there are programs either run out of private companies or out of government agencies that are not disclosed to the Congress and the president and other people who need to know. They're called black budget projects. And the theory is that some of this UFO tech has been reverse engineered and built into human tech, but Congress doesn't know about it because it's in these black budgets. That's what I think is going on here. And the fact that they're acting like they don't know what this is cause for suspicion to me.
But why would they know what this is, right? They didn't know what the damn Chinese spy balloon was for like 3
They
months.
knew what it was. They knew what the
took them
spy balloon
forever.
was.
It took them forever to figure out what that was and tell us what it was.
Those are two separate things.
Here's the thing.
Knowing what it is and telling us what it is are two separate things.
Here's the thing. They're saying that with these, they are being able to get around detection. They're not being picked up on radars in a way that other flying aircraft are. They're whatever this is not acting normally. Like if I take my drone, I have a person.
We've all seen your drone. It went viral. Okay, we know.
Oh yeah, it did. Well, yes. If you don't know, please go check it out, and I will take the royalties from that view. But yeah, if you take that drone, I cannot fly that drone in certain areas just because once it turns on, it connects to GPS, and if it's in a restricted zone, it won't take off. It's not happening the same way. These drones are able to take off. They're able to land. If they are landing, Michael, then why has no one? We've seen hundreds of videos. Why has no one gotten one video of them landing or taking off?
Mothership.
The mothership theory. I don't know. You were asking me to speculate as to what I think is going on. There are a number of scenarios that this could be. I just think the most likely scenario is the one that I laid out. Why I could speculate as to why they don't, because they're landing in a government secure location that nobody has access to. There's a lot of military installations in the area, so maybe that's where they're landing. And they're like, well, we don't know where they're landing.
Brad, what's your take?
Well, I've heard some. There's a theory that I like the most, but I did find this one video online that apparently they're like making like patterns or images in the sky, and I thought this was really cool. That's something to watch. One video.
So you're speculating that these are holograms?
No, what I'm speculating is that I agree with you, Michael, that it is that the government knows exactly what they are. They know, they're in on it. Maybe not everyone in government. It's all siloed, right? Need to know, as the insiders like to say, Charles. And I think what they're probably doing, maybe it's Space Force, maybe it's Air Force, maybe it's Navy, probably not Army. Yeah, see, Lisa's in on it. She loves Tupac. Hell yeah.
Lisa, we all love Tupac, but I'm just saying, like, this is.
And I think that what they might be doing, and this is speculation I've read that I think sounds plausible, that they're testing they're testing the reaction from the citizens, from local law enforcement, from even some of their own agencies, to see how they respond to unknown phenomena like this.
Well, listen, if you're trying to test the average reaction of an American, don't go to Jersey. Like, that's not the place to go and get the reaction. And I agree with Lisa. I do believe Tupac is alive.
Where is Tupac if he's alive?
Bermuda.
What?
Bahama.
Anyway.
Come on, baby mama.
Yeah, like, don't go to
Charles?
Jersey. Go to like Wisconsin or somewhere else. Like, go to anywhere else other than Jersey. I think, and I'm going to be on the ground in New Jersey tomorrow with my drone, and I'm going to go and try. Because my thing is, why has no one in New Jersey with a drone flown their drone up to these other drones? I don't understand that. So if I have to be the first, I will, and I'll die on that. It's fine, Like I said, if worst came to worst, I would die with my heels dug into the dirt of New Jersey, and I have my speaking of, my water bottle here, and then I come and take it on the other side. So. Like, it is what it is, but I just think it's really interesting how no one is able to give an answer to this. I've got some friends who work in law enforcement and just general public safety in Jersey, and they're all equally as confused. Like, no one seems to have good answers or clear pictures, or again, seeing where these things are landing and taking off from. I don't understand it. But
what are the options on the table? The options
are it's a foreign country. So, like,
yes.
All right, a couple months ago, they were trying to push this DJI ban, the federal government pushing it, and actually I think the state of Texas does have one for state used drones where you can't use DJI because there's an I guess I don't know if it's a DJI. It's a brand of drone made out of China that allegedly has capabilities of spying on America if you use it here. And so there's been an attempt or a push at banning DJI. I have a DJI, I like it, but maybe it is a spy drone, who knows? And so if they have that capability and they are able to sidestep laws and be able to fly in restricted zones and all that stuff, then maybe that's what's going on.
Do you think Gene Wu uses a DJI? If you go to New Jersey and you try to do this on your own, if you try to interact with get your own drone up there, you're in good company. New Jersey residents threaten to deal with mystery drones themselves if the government doesn't act. Good. They're frustrated with the lack of answers regarding dozens of potential drone sightings. Are they potential drone sightings? Are they upset that they're drones, or are they upset that they're UFOs?
Well, I mean, everybody's saying they're drones. Nobody's saying they're UFO. Well, I mean, we don't know what they are.
People are.
They are by definition unidentified flying objects.
Oh, dozens of SUV-sized drones in all directions. Semi-auto guys. Charles, you're going to get involved with a militia in New Jersey. Is what's going to happen, huh?
I am going to the boonies in New Jersey too. I'm not even going to like the city where I'm from. I'm going.
Is it going to be well regulated or no?
Huh?
Is it going to be well regulated or no?
Is what going to be well regulated?
The militia that you're joining.
Let's hope not.
Against the drones.
I just think you don't go to the most densely populated state in the United States to just test something out. You're going to look for. The other thing is that they said that that it could be U.S. government drones looking for potential weapons of mass destruction that have been planted somewhere, whether it's at the ports or something like that. I don't know if that's true.
They use drones for that?
I mean, these things are big enough to carry a payload. So why wouldn't we shoot them down? Why isn't somebody shot them down? I mean, I've heard the accounts that as they've tried to fly helicopters up there, the things have disappeared. I've heard that. It seems rather convenient. But the question I was asking is, what are the options? And we went on a number of different tangents, but it's our adversaries or whatever. It's another country. It's us or it's aliens. Those seem to be the three categories, right, of what it is.
Well, I see the other category could be animals. So yeah, there's probably that's it.
Well, I mean, it could just be New Jersey residents just popping off.
True. Yeah,
eight counties across the state just to
we
say.
We got some live listeners. They could certainly put their theories down in the chat, right?
Yeah, listeners? Of course. We want to hear. But listen, I don't think they're spanning 8 counties and doing this as a coordinated effort just by having some fun with some, fun time recreational drones. I mean, these are larger than typical recreational drones. These are very large drones.
So will we get an answer to what these are, or will something else happen next week and everybody will forget?
Well, I'm going to be there tomorrow, so I'm hoping to have an answer for you guys.
That's great.
I told my friend to bring either fishing wire, a net, and a gun, and I'm bringing my drone, and we're going to go out there and see what we can get.
What's the fishing wire for?
Well, someone on Twitter told me to tie the fishing wire on the bottom of my drone so I can drop it in the propellers of the other drone and take them both down.
I don't think you should be saying this live on YouTube. You are on a watch list now, buddy.
So we don't know what the drones are, but we will find out. I'll be on the ground reporting. Well, yeah, I'm going to be on the ground reporting.
And then the other question that this raises for me is what are they distracting us from?
I don't know. See China's new song, Peggy.
Jay-Z, what's happening in Syria. I don't know. Some of the other stories in the news right now.
Jay-Z sent out hundreds of drones to distract us from this.
He has powerful friends.
They are the masters of deception. There is a I would call them a fringe group of people who believe that sometime in January, I don't remember the exact date, the aliens are going to reveal themselves to us, and maybe that this is a precursor to their revelation. So that could be happening too.
Why January? What's the theory around that?
I don't know. I'd have to actually take it seriously and look into it. But I have friends and family who believe this, so I've heard this theory.
Family?
Oh yeah.
Well, listen, I mean, it could be. Well, what we do know about the drones is that we don't know where they're taking off and landing. New Jersey's a pretty small state. You can traverse the state north to south in less than 3 hours, east to west in about 2.5. They're showing up near Picatinny Arsenal, which is one of the bigger arsenals, and Bedminster, close, which is where Trump's.
What did you just say?
Bedminster.
Where Trump's golf courses.
Bedminster.
His
That's
home
not
and
how you
his
say
other home and golf course.
And then North Jersey, just outside of New York, we had some in Bergen County. Shout out Bergen County. I love Bergen County. That's where I'm born and raised. And so, this story really hits close to home, and it makes me really think about what matters in this world.
And we did reach out to the governor to try to get him on the BCM podcast to come talk about this. We reached out to somebody in Jersey.
We reached out to a candidate for the Republican nomination for governor,
That's right.
who happens to also be a radio host. So,
Did he answer?
No.
Did you send the email?
yes.
Okay.
Should we pull it up?
I mean, why not? We should get our listeners to follow up with him. Hey, come on the BCM. Face the tough questions.
What's his name?
Jack Citarelli. Citarelli.
Jack
Citarelli.
Jack Shit Orelli.
Citarelli. Ciaterelli.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
we want answers.
Well, I promise we'll get the name right.
All right. Well, that's it for that. Outside of that, I've been looking into a lot of interesting things lately, other than New Jersey. It hasn't just been New Jersey. Are you guys familiar with exomes?
No.
Exosomes or exomes?
Exomes.
Exomes. Tell me about it. What's an exome?
It's it's a new type of, not necessarily therapy, but it's something that people are taking to kind of, I don't know, what do you call it? What is it called? Biohacking? Is that what they call these things nowadays? Is that what it's called?
Biohacking is a term. I'm not sure if they use exomes for biohacking.
Okay, well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Anyway, it's regenerative medicine that you inject, and it helps repair cells and rejuvenate. It's kind of like we've talked about stuff. It's yes. It's. I was just gonna say.
I'm gonna get a shot of BP 157 today.
Are you really?
I am. I fucked up my leg so bad at soccer like 10 days ago.
Tell our audience with BCP 157, body protective compound.
You want me to tell them about it?
Yeah.
It's the 157th body protective compound that was created, and you inject it, and it's supposed to help heal.
Anymore?
Why?
Why does it do that?
Yeah.
I think it's a amino acids, maybe. I don't know. I don't fucking know, to be honest.
Yes.
I've read testimonials, and people swear by it, and I've always kind of thought, well, I have some ankle pain, stuff like that after playing soccer. Maybe this kind of help sort of bridge that gap, maybe get my ankles a little bit stronger so they don't always just fucking die the next day. But when I got kicked in the leg super fucking hard at soccer last Wednesday, I can't sleep. Like all of a sudden, it's so much pain. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to try it out. See what happens. BPC.
I think it's a great idea. I've really wanted to try it for my shoulder because...
Oh, God, your shoulder. What's wrong with your shoulder? What do you do? Play tennis? Are you a tennis player?
That would be my elbow.
Probably a softball player.
I've been wanting to do it for my shoulder because they do say, like you said, when you inject it, you can take it. There's an oral version as well, but apparently injection works better and gets directly to.
Oral's not good for this. Oral's good for like healing your gut.
Yeah,
right?
Well, it's gut health if you need to fix your gut.
No one gives a fuck about your gut. Fix your shoulder, bro.
Most people who have stomach issues have a gut health problem, and they just don't know.
It's about looking good, not feeling good, man.
I agree.
Hell yeah, brother.
I want to get it for my shoulder because I do have a really bad shoulder pain, and you feel it particularly when like I'm lifting or something. So, but I heard that it's great. Everybody who's used BCP 157 have had great reviews for it. So let us know. I want to know, how are you getting one injection or a series of them?
I'm getting one injection today, and I'm ordering a bottle myself, and so I'm going to start injecting myself.
Which I'm always kind of walking around Austin with needles. That's why.
I can find there's a lot of free needles at the park. Just at the very bottom of the slide, there's always a fresh supply. It's super cool.
Good.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable injecting myself, but I'm going to do it anyway. I used to do the B12 shots, and it just doesn't. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Like I'm going to get a fucking an air bubble in there, and I'm going to die. You know what I mean?
Just do what the doctors do. Do that.
That seems too easy.
Okay, look how many injections happen on a daily basis and how few people die
I mean, a lot of people die, buddy.
from it.
I don't know if you want to say, hey, look at all those like homeless people that are injecting themselves and how healthy they are.
That's obviously very different.
They're doing great.
That's
That's
obviously
not
very
because of the injection.
yeah.
Well,
Having an air bubble.
Anyways, I'm glad you talked about that. So exomes are kind of in that family. It's they come from stem cells and it's rejuvenative, and so you have been using them with microneedling for different things to kind of inject for everything from skin to hair to joints, ligaments, all these different things to either regenerate or for cosmetics or other purposes. Really interesting. I saw it as one of the trends for 2025. I know last year Michael was really into cold plunging. I just feel like we haven't heard much about his cold plunging anymore. Do you still do that?
I started cold plunging.
Well, you're not Michael.
No, in the summer, the cold plunge got a little too hot and I couldn't keep it cold, so I was just doing cold showers. But I have a plan. No, I have a plan to start cold plunging again. And for Christmas, I have asked for the heater, or not the heater, but the motor that keeps it cold. So the freezer. Okay.
So are you into any healthcare kicks right now other than not cold plunging?
No, not really. No, the two that I was doing, and this isn't like revolutionary, but the two that I was doing that I was most excited about in the last 6 months were cold plunging and stretching, mobility stretching in the mornings. Because I don't know if you guys have seen me, but I can't touch my toes, and not even close.
They're so far away.
Yeah, they are.
That is true. That is
like
you got a long way to go.
Yeah, not even close. And for longevity, I think that's probably an important thing, to be a little bit more flexible. So I started doing this mobility stretching in the morning. It's like 10 minutes ish. And I was doing it every morning, like very disciplined about it. And then I went to dinner with my friend the other day and I was like, look. And I showed him, I'm like this far away. Whereas before I was like,
yeah,
really far. But I haven't been very disciplined about any of that stuff, but I have a 5-month-old and have been very busy. So my whole morning routine has been rough the last month or so.
Well, Michael, you're going to have to show him the way. Otherwise, he's going to be eating seed oils in McDonald's and not stretching. So he needs to learn.
Well, I did all those things when I was young and dumb. So.
Well, to the stretching point, though, I think we talked about this last year at some point. Stretching, I feel like so many people need to do it, and it would fix so many problems that they have, and they just don't do it. Like if you find a 10, 15-minute stretching routine on YouTube and you do it, it's remarkable the amount of pain that I don't feel in certain like lifts and things when I stretch regularly. Just how like you don't accidentally pull something when you're reaching out. Like it's amazing what stretching does. It really is.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why some other cultures they live a long time.
That's also because they don't eat the seed oils that Andrew Huberman.
I don't really think there's any evidence about seed oils. So
stop it, Andrew.
But on the next topic, we're going to talk about
the fuck.
What?
What's yours, Brad?
I thought it was BCP 157.
But no, you got more.
You were talking about that, and I just said, "Hey, I'm about to take that."
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So you go, like do your little drone wars. All right, you Star Wars freak, and I'll do BPC 157. We'll come back next week and we'll report.
Okay, well, tell us about your kick, whatever your thing is.
Stretching by itself. You guys got to stretch right. You got to activate the opposing muscles while you're stretching. You got to move through a range of motion, and the muscle that you're stretching, you need to activate to get out of the stretch. Right? You don't just haphazardly throw your hands at the ground. You got to really.
Did either of us say that's what you do?
No, I'm giving the listeners advice because you two goons don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Michael's the one who can almost touch his toes. So
almost.
I have never not been able to touch my toes, and I can put my wrists underneath my feet. So go fuck yourself,
well,
buddy.
When you're 5'2", that's not very hard.
You are the shortest person I've ever met, and I haven't even met you. So I actually started doing saunas and cold plunging, and the cold plunge is just the outdoor pool at my gym, and it's cold as fuck. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's probably in the 50s. It's pretty cold. I don't know what's the good temperature for a cold plunge, Michael?
32.
I mean, you can't do
colder than 50.
It's cold. It's really cold. But I start with a 200-degree sauna for half an hour, and then I go hop in the pool, and it's a shock. I'm a little afraid. I'm afraid when I jump in, I'm gonna like pass out.
Yeah.
But my favorite trend is the one that Charles keeps sending me pictures of is muscle mommies. He keeps sending me all these pictures on Instagram of all these muscle mommies that he finds.
This is not what happens.
Oh my God. Yes, it is.
This is just Brad scrolling.
And he sends me these pictures and he asks me if I would. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Charles?
This is not. I wish you guys would see our Instagram messages because that's not what's happening. That is not what's happening.
But I do like that that women are. It's becoming more socially acceptable for women to lift weights, and women are taking it more seriously. I think that it's great that. It used to be when we were younger that women were afraid that they're going to look like men if they started lifting weights. And I always say, like, that's impossible. It's not going to happen unless you started taking, like, you're not going to take it so seriously that that's going to happen. So don't even worry about it. Like, you'd have to like really train fucking hard and or take Tren, which is Charles's favorite exome, right? That's not. It's just not going to happen. So I'm actually really pleased to see a lot of women taking up the sport of weightlifting. It's great.
Well, I think go ahead, Michael.
Oh, I was just going to say it's better for their goals too, right? If their goal is like fat loss or something like that, lifting weights is kind of critical. It's not just cardio. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think, the long running narrative has been like with people, I mean, with women and with some people who just don't want to get muscular. It's like, oh, I don't want to lift because I don't want to get muscular. And I think you're right, Brad. It's very difficult. Like it's hard. Like it just doesn't happen. Oh, see, I agree.
Lisa, that is not. I've met so many women, Lisa.
They don't know Suzanne Summers, obviously.
I've met so many women, Lisa, that have said, I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to have arms like you. I'm like, that's not going to happen. Don't worry about it. Just go lift weights. You're going to feel good. I promise.
I don't think that's what
Lisa, that all women
have arms like you. I think they've.
In other news,
when are we in Austin? We're going to have a boxing match.
Why do you feel this is a new trend?
I don't think it's a new. I think the trend is that it's becoming more socially acceptable for women to do that. That's what I mean by that. I'm not saying that women have never lifted weights. Obviously, I mean, I've seen women in the gym for as long as I've been going to the gym, but now it's becoming more socially accepted. And maybe that's in part because of social media and women posting their gains with a Z. And so other women see that and they go, oh yeah, she actually, that looks pretty good. And maybe I could be like that or do that or whatever. I'm speaking in generalizations. I'm not saying that it's, women never lifted weights.
Well, and to your point, I think fitness culture is more in now than it ever has been, as opposed to like diet culture, I think, which is, and not just for women, generally speaking, I think, there's always been this diet culture, but now people are actually into like, yes, I want to diet and eat appropriately, but like still be full, but also lift weights and all this other stuff. Whereas like fitness culture seems to used to just be geared towards like meatheads or just people going to the gym all the time and stuff like that. Whereas now you go on anybody's social media page and it's like, look at this, I'm doing my, single lift or whatever. My PR.
It's the antecedent to Maha. But in other news, speaking of fitness, Brad has started a Instagram account under a, what do you call that? Another name?
Pseudonym?
Alter ego. Pseudonym. Thank you. It's Joel Saltzman _. You got to check it out. He does great.
You found my alter ego. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Are we pulling?
He practices karate. No.
And, it sounds like Joel. Also, that's Brad. All right.
And all sorts of fitness.
They do actually look like. I didn't know you play the guitar.
I'm a man of many talents.
Yeah.
All right.
Name Joel, Joel.
That's how you spell Joel.
Joel Saltzman
_.
Oh God. Is this guy catfishing? That's me. What is happening? Saltzman. Oh my God. I have that same tattoo.
17.2 million views.
Oh God.
On your last video. Go to the Reels.
Are we allowed to play this?
Yeah, we're promoting him. Go to the Reels.
Okay, Reels.
First one. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Get some music here.
I love this guy. Yeah. Needs more vocals.
We got we got some comments here. That's Snacky Chan.
Snacky shit.
The Last Dragon Buffet. Bruce Nee. Burger Lee. We could do better than Burger Lee. Come on, guys.
Goodness. All right. We're shifting.
He's bald.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's
he's got a good physique. Let's not lie. Lisa, give us a Dave Blunt. Okay, Lisa, give us on a scale of 1 to 10. Joel Saltzman. What is he?
All right, so we're gonna shift to if Lisa answers, we'll read her answer. But we're gonna shift to Biden's clemency. I want Michael to kind of take this one because he's our resident clemency expert. So Thursday, Biden announced he's commuting sentences for 1,500 people. 39 Americans convicted of nonviolent crimes are also going to be pardoned. This is the largest single-day clemency apparently ever in U.S. history. Previously, the most were issued was by Obama in 2017, where he did 300. Shortened a sentence of 330, I guess, in one day. 1,499 of these who received commutations had already been serving their sentences at home for at least 1 year under the COVID and CARES Act. So these people were like already in, your communities. Like, let's get that clear, because I think some people are like, oh, he just went, unlocked the door and let them all. Like, no, these people were, a lot of them were out already serving sentences at home or somewhere, and he's just commuting their sentences. And so there's been, I haven't seen a ton of outrage, but I have seen some. But generally speaking, Michael, why don't you talk to us about this? This is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the specific names of the people on that list, but let me talk about what I think happened here. During the COVID era, there was a program, because there was so much COVID spreading in prisons, to let the low-risk prisoners go into home confinement. And at the time, we had advocated very strongly to President Trump that those who were eligible for home confinement should receive mass clemency. And it looks like that's what Joe Biden did here, which is a good thing, because what these people were talking about that get released into home confinement, they're typically very old. Their crimes, they've been in prison for a long time. They have a demonstrated, record of rehabilitation and good records in prison, and they don't really pose any threat to society. And that's why they were let into home confinement in the first place. And I think what we were suggesting to Trump, and what it looks like Biden has done here, is just commute their sentences and let them stay home. Obviously, they still have criminal records, so that causes all sorts of problems for reentry. But I think, give him props when it's due. I think this was a good move. I thought Trump should have done it, but he had all sorts of other things going on. And a lot of people are going to get reunited with their families, which is a great thing right around the holidays.
Yeah. I'm just going to read a couple of these really quick, just not even a handful. Norman O'Neill Brown, 56, nonviolent drug offense when he was 22. He, if he would sentence under current law, he would have received a lighter sentence. He served 20 years. Obama commuted his sentence in 2015, and he's since then worked for nonprofit organizations and things like that. Now he was fully pardoned. Arthur Byrd, 58, nonviolent drug offense at 23. I mean, yeah, a lot of these, 60-year-old woman, nonviolent drug offense, doesn't say when, but a long time ago. Most of these, they've served more than half of their life in prison for, and I don't want to say most, I didn't go through most, but the ones that I was just reading, more than half of their life for nonviolent drug offenses.
Yeah. You're probably going to have some people who reoffend if 1,500 are let out, but I think that these are probably mostly low risk people. And those folks so during the Obama Clemency Project 2014, he commuted a lot of life sentences to 30 years. So those people stayed in jail if they hadn't served the 30 years because of the changes to the sentencing guidelines. But these are folks, I would think, Trump passed First Step Act. It dealt with a lot of these kind of low risk prisoners who have really long sentences, but there were still some remaining in jail, many of which we advocated for individually, and some of which Trump gave clemency during 2020. But again, understanding the parameters of what was done here, I think this was a good move.
You keep saying we, and you're not telling listeners who we is.
We, I was part of a group of people who were advocating for a number of people in prison. The group was led by Alice Marie Johnson, who most people know, and Matt Whitaker, who was the acting attorney general. And we were reviewing cases of people who are in federal prison for long sentences, a lot like Alice Johnson, where they had a minor role in a drug conspiracy or something like that, and they've served 30 years. And while in prison, all they've done is improve themselves or tried to improve themselves and not got in trouble. And we'd asked Trump, to commute some of these sentences. I think we recommended 130 or so cases to him, and he granted clemency and pardons to, I think, 70 or 80 of them, and those people got to get returned with their families, and it was awesome. But nobody in the media talked about it, because why would they give Trump praise? And at the same time he gave these people clemency, he pardoned people like Roger Stone, which whether or not he should have done that is, I'm not debating. He shouldn't have done it at the same time.
Didn't he pardon like Wiz Khalifa or something like that?
I don't know if he pardoned Wiz Khalifa. I think Wiz Khalifa advocated for a couple of the people that he pardoned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that Wiz Khalifa
Harry O was a big one in the rap world that got clemency.
What about this guy that got let's see, was he was granted clemency, and this is the one that a lot of people are talking about. Doctoral student connected to Chinese Communist Party gets 8 years for child porn. Shanlin Jin, who lived in Allen, was studying at Southern Methodist University, had over 47,000 such files on his computer, the FBI said, and he's been granted clemency.
What do you think the motivation for that is?
I think maybe some Texas lawmaker maybe made a call.
Oh, what do you think? I think he probably fell into a category, because this was categorical. They didn't review all of these cases. That would take way too much time. They don't have enough people. So I think he probably fell into the categories.
What category would he be in? The child predator category?
Well, that's what I'm going to say. If anybody has a case, if I were advising on this, if anybody had a case related to child pornography, they should not have received clemency, obviously. Jesus. That's a mistake.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like, I mean, maybe somebody should review like one or two of them. Like, before. I would love to know if there was a justification for that, or what their justification was.
I mean, just Command F if you're or Control F, whatever platform, whatever OS you're using, and just search, child pornography, and just X out those ones. Don't do those guys.
Was that what he was? Was that what he was charged with, or was he charged with something else?
Convicted pedophile is all I'm reading.
Yeah, pedophiles should rot in jail.
Yeah. All right.
Jay-Z,
well,
I mean,
excuse me.
Allegedly.
The Post Millennial says that Biden releases Chinese prisoner arrested with 47,000 child sex abuse images. An FBI agent testified that his family was connected to influential members of the Communist Party of China. Maybe that's what it has to do with it. I don't know.
Why don't you find the good case? Why you got to bring down the whole thing? There's a bunch of people that are going home to their families, and deservedly, and you got to come poo-poo on it with this one case that's on right-wing media. And there's probably a bunch of really good people who get to go home.
They're all child predators, every single one. Sorry.
All right, next topic. This one actually I'm going to hand off to Brad, because this was your suggestion, and I don't know much about it. But I don't know if it was just a question that you posed, but you were asking, is BLM making a comeback?
Are they making a comeback?
Was this just something you threw out, or was there like...
They're kind of, it seems like they're trying to make a comeback. Love Lisa, what is that? Is that a pink piece of poop? I don't know. And it seems like they're trying to make a comeback after Jordan Neely got... he was not convicted of murdering that Michael Jackson impersonator. What was his name?
Daniel
Penny, yes. And Jordan Neely was the guy that got killed. And now BLM is out there saying if the roles were reversed and all that other stuff and yada, 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 right? And they're trying to get people to protest in March and everything like that. And it just, they've been missing for a little while. And now they're kind of popping back up. I don't know. Are they going to make a comeback or not?
When you say BLM, are you talking about like the organization, or are you just talking about
what?
Black squares on Instagram.
Are they black people?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
No, no. That's what I'm curious. Like, are you talking about like
the organization BLM?
The actual organization. Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I thought you just saw a bunch of black people saying stuff. I was like, BLM's at it again.
Are black people, are they making a comeback? That was not my question, Charles.
No. I was saying that I thought you were just associating some black people's response as the official BLM response is what I was saying.
No, I don't think that they're all the same.
Is it making a comeback? I don't know. It seems like this most recent.
Jordan Neely! Jordan Neely! Jordan Neely!
Well, in true BLM fashion, most of those people are not black. So
Sorry. Ears. What did you say?
I said in true BLM fashion, most of those people are not black. But listen, are they going to make a comeback? I think they're always going to be outspoken and active when things like this happen. But I think the most recent election showed us that the narrative and what has spurred from it over the past 4 years is kind of dead a little bit. And so I don't know that they will.
Okay.
At least not in the way that maybe they were in 2020, 2021.
Yeah, I don't think so either. The two kind of
Thanks, Lisa.
The two kind of left wingers that I've heard comment on the Daniel Penny case, Crystal Ball, because I watch Breaking Points and I listen to Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian, and they're like, he shouldn't have been convicted. So no, I don't think so. I think these are the same rabble rousers that are, supporting Hamas on college campuses, and the same small group of people who are trying to cause chaos because they're pissed off at everything in the world. But will a mass movement of people demanding police accountability come back under the current conditions? No. Now, day one, January 21st, when Trump starts deporting people, maybe.
Uh-oh.
That could be a thing.
You think BLM is gonna start focusing on that?
Not BLM necessarily, just a mass movement of opposition forces in the streets protesting. They may be titled something else, but I think we're in a honeymoon period just kind of generally. There's not much going on, but like Trump's going to get sworn in and he's going to start deporting people, and the news is going to start putting pictures of these people in cages and being torn away from their homes on the news every night, and people are going to be pissed. It is not going to be like, oh, Trump's president, we're good with it. Like, we're going to be right back to 2017, 2020.
So I agree with you that the news is going to try to do that, but I think the climate is so different than then, both like culturally and societally, but also like just the way the news is delivered now. I mean, I hate when everybody's like, X is saving the world. Like, I just stop. But it is truly kind of breaking through a lot of the barriers of what the traditional media does. And so I feel like it's giving voice to people who don't look the way you think they should look when they're saying certain things. So people who are outspoken, in favor of mass deportations, who might be Black or Hispanic themselves, who wouldn't be on traditional media, or maybe there would be one of them on traditional media. And now they're all over podcasts and stuff. And so I feel like you're going to see more of those voices out there, which in turn, I think quells some of the opposition. I think, I mean, I don't know. I just think we're in a different climate, but who knows?
I agree, but I think it's on the margins. And Lisa, I agree with you. It is what the American people voted for. The American people support mass deportation. They've just voted to do that. But as an example, Rachel Maddow, her ratings are down 50%. She got 102,000 people in the key demo the other night. 102,000. They are collapsing.
That's
and
crazy.
When Trump starts deporting people, they are going to lean in on Trump derangement syndrome, just like they did, to spike their ratings, and people are going to tune back in, and all this shit's going to proliferate on social media, and there will be some level of resistance. Will it be the same level? Maybe not. Maybe you're right, Charles. The culture has shifted a little bit on it, but there will be people wearing black, in coordinating, wearing black outfits.
Well, maybe I'm not right, Michael. How about that? Because you're right that I think people will tune in to hear about the president. Just like after the election, the View had like some of their highest ratings because people were dying to see what they said because they like to see the freak out. They like to see all that stuff. And so is he a boost for CNN and other stations? Probably. I would say so. He's probably going to be a boost for them. So they may come back harder than ever. Who knows? Rachel Maddow may have a job and her mullet. They can survive another day. Brad, did you have anything to comment on this?
I think something's in the works. Something's cooking. Things are too quiet. Well, something's gonna. I don't know if it's BLM or not, but I think something's gonna happen. Maybe it's aliens in New Jersey. I don't know.
You've pretty much been saying that. You've pretty much been saying that since January.
What have I been saying?
Something's gonna happen. We didn't get our October surprise.
2 more weeks.
We didn't get people in the streets over Israel, Palestine. I think you predicted that. I also predicted Michelle Obama was going to be president. So, you know.
Am I the only one on the show who predicted the Trump win? Early on?
Yeah, when we did our...
Did I even predict it, or did I just make that up?
No, we did our prediction show in January at the beginning of the year, and Charles rightly predicted Trump was going to be the president at the end of the year. Wow. Brad and I were both way off.
Look at me.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta have fun with it, you know?
I just be yapping. I don't think I had a basis to even make that assumption.
We gotta do predictions for next year too.
That's all right. Our next topic, which kind of dovetails nicely with this, is so we're talking about the media and how the media is going to react to him. Is it any indication of how they're going to react to them? How we see some of the, I don't know, these people aren't necessarily, yeah, they are media technically, but like the Bezos and the Zuckerbergs, and then as of today, I think Sam Altman as well, each donated $1 million to his inauguration, to Trump's inauguration. Is that a further indication of a shift, or is it just currying favor with who's in power? I don't know, because before the election, Bezos did say that he wanted to bring on more conservative columnists at WAPO.
What's a conservative columnist? Do you know what I mean? What does that mean?
To people that aren't there now.
Is that Maximum Bootlicker? Is he a conservative columnist?
I mean, I don't know. The point is that he's saying that he knew the paper was misguided and he wanted to do something different. Whether or not, you know, who he brings on is actually conservative, I don't know. But what I'm saying is they've recognized something. I don't recall if Washington Post withheld their endorsement. I don't know. I know LA did.
They did, yeah.
They did. So are they sensing something, a shift, and then shifting themselves, or are they just trying to ride the wave?
I think that, like I said, when this happened, I think that Jeff Bezos sees all the love and praise that Elon Musk is getting and all the power and close to power that Elon Musk is getting, and is a little bit jealous. After a certain point, you have all the money in the world, you can buy a lot of yachts, but so can Elon Musk. But only Elon Musk is teamed up with Vivek the Cake Ramaswamy to do a Department of Government Efficiency, right? And actually wielding real power and talking to, you know, President Trump. I think
that's more powerful, Bezos or Elon Musk?
Elon Musk, I would assume.
I mean, how many? I'm curious, like what the usage of Amazon is versus Twitter. I don't know.
I don't know that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Amazon has more users. Because
I feel like the stuff that you get, there's a way of influencing the way you think by stuff that you buy and by advertisements you get, and I think, and owning a newspaper. And I wonder who like has direct influence in that way. Because like I don't necessarily consider having the president's ear direct influence. Like sure, you can get some stuff done, that's great, but I think there are more effective ways to influence like people.
Okay.
Like media.
What is that? Raising the price of razors $1 on Amazon? What is that?
No, it's feeding them information that they don't even know they're being fed.
Ooh, through direct advertisements
and media, yeah, and
telling only certain demographics or blocks of voters that today is election day. That sort of stuff.
I mean that too. Hopefully they would just Google, but
that's what Google does.
No, there's no grand conspiracy. There's no grand strategy. This is a hedge. This is a hedge. They're like
I don't believe
Jeff Bezos
came out of Michael's mouth.
Jeff Bezos in particular gets a ton of government contracts and he wants to be friendly with the new administration. So he cut $1 million check out of Amazon. Like that's nothing to him. That's like me handing her out a $10 bill. Like they're just hedging their bets.
All right, Uncle Moneybags, calm down.
Seriously, Daddy Warbucks over here.
I'm just saying they're Bezos in particular, but Zuckerberg as well have very deep and expensive relationships with the U.S. government that they're trying to protect, and they are trying to show a sign of goodwill so that Trump will continue those contracts and those relationships with the government. That's what they're trying to do.
But can't that be said about all the tech guys on the right?
Well, no, I think there's an actual shift among some people in tech toward realizing Trump's better for us. I think that's real. And that I saw somebody tweet, I can't remember, maybe it was David Sachs. Like there's some people who are like, actually Trump's better for us. The last 4 years, the last 8 years have been horrible with us cozying up to Democrats. We don't want any part of that anymore. It was Charlie Kirk. But the Bezos and if we're talking about just the $1 million donations to the inauguration, that's what I think it is. It's a door opener. It's an olive branch. It's like, don't come for my government contracts. Don't target me. I'll give you $1 million to inauguration. And we all know that Trump, flattery works on Trump. So that's what I think is going on here.
I'll say this: I'm still fleshing this idea out, but I've grown to believe that the tech community is to the new right, just like the old business community was to the old right, and the tech community just happens to be the new business community, and they're going to be aligned as long as the tech community gets what they want out of the new right, and then when policies and principles diverge, it's going to be the same thing that we're seeing with the business community splitting with Republicans and Republicans attacking big business. It's going to be the same thing all over again. And Republicans are just happy that some cool people are on their side for once.
And you don't think they're just given to the winner?
No. I don't mean these guys. I mean, these guys too. I think these guys too, but I'm talking about all the tech guys, like all of them. Like, I don't believe there's this like deep alignment on principle and everything with like, I mean, maybe there is with some of them, but I think as a whole, they recognize that this is more favorable for what their interests are. And then when those interests stop aligning with conservative policy, they're going to be done with it.
I think they're just trying to figure out who's going to win and giving them money. And I think they thought the Democrats were going to be in power for a long time after Obama, and Trump came and shook up their world. And especially some of these people in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, they're ideological. Like they are hanging out with Sam Bankman-Fried talking about what did he talk about?
Hot chicks.
Bankman-Fried? Didn't
Bankman-Fried had a really hot girlfriend, right?
that's the guy that's at jail.
Super fine, if I remember correctly.
No.
She was so hot, dude. What are you talking about? All that money? Of course she was.
All right. Anything to add to this conversation, Brad?
Oh, something's going to happen. That's all I got to say. Something's happening.
Something's coming.
Wow. That's great. Thanks.
What's
That's
next?
really okay. Great. Wow. Thanks for that. Any other topics that we left? I mean, I guess we could talk about the Luigi.
I have a question for you. We can talk about Luigi, but I have a question. We all love listening to Lara Trump and her singing.
No, we don't. Luigi Mangione.
Stop.
We don't want to talk about Lara Trump.
I don't want to talk about Lara Trump either. All I want to say is that I think that she may have opened the door for more white female singers, and I think this is really good.
On my beans, wearing these jeans, roll tide, go balls, SEC, smoking, drinking, fighting, riding races, trackers, hard to straighten.
Who is this?
This reminds me of what Michael was like in high school, from my understanding.
Mama kick gas from my father. Come on, surviving, we living.
This is horrible. Stop it.
That's Katie Noel. And
Who's that?
I don't know. I think that she's maybe America's next top rapper.
Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be, but when I think of like Northern California, not her, but like the whole like setup, like the country aspect of it, I get that vibe.
Well, yeah, every time I find new music like that, I always wonder, what does Charles Blain think about this?
There are no thoughts
about that.
They're just all my thoughts evaporated when
Why?
This is a great song. Play it on repeat. Maybe that can be our new intro song. Email Katie Noel and ask if we can license that song for the intro to the BCM podcast.
Please don't. I can't listen to that song once a week.
If we get Lara Trump to say yes, we get some Lara Trump up there. Hell
All
yeah.
right. So before we wrap up, what do you guys think is going on with Luigi Mangione?
Well, first off, I think I talked about this before, but there's a video making the rounds. Only a minute. We can play it.
We're not playing a full minute of a video.
It's got numerology.
Okay. And right. That's such a compelling argument, Brad.
It's got numerology, man.
You wasted 20 seconds of that minute.
Here we go.
Oh, I love these videos.
Okay. That's a Pokemon, Charles. Do you know what that is?
Yep, sure do.
What are we looking at?
That's the Pokemon number 08. That was a 28.
0286. I get it.
Okay, so you got the 286 denial code.
But where did the Pokemon come from?
That's his header on his Twitter.
It's from his Twitter, right there.
Got it.
286 posts. New York, Hilton, Midtown. 286 miles. His cousin Nino Mangione has 286. He follows 286 people.
That's actually pronounced Nino Mangione.
Proverbs 286. What is it, Charles? Do you know it off the top of your head?
It's better to pour that walketh in his uprightness.
And he that is something. Uh-oh.
Okay, that's I mean, I think what is Occam's razor? Is it the most likely answer? Is that it's a coincidence?
That's not what that is. But
where did the number 286 start?
The Pokemon and his Twitter.
The insurance denial code is 286.
Well, the Pokemon number from his Twitter profile. He has a picture of a Pokemon and his banner picture, and that's the Pokemon number is 0286.
Yeah, but presumably it didn't start with the Pokemon. It started with
that's what the video started with.
I understand.
Well, maybe Luigi. You know, maybe he put that Pokemon up there because his denial code was 286.
Yeah,
right.
So,
but that doesn't explain the 286 miles away where he got arrested, or the 286 following that his cousin has.
Nino Mangione.
Wow. Yeah,
I mean, it is kind of strange. Lisa said Luigi is fine, but Brad's IG double kicker is so much.
Truth. The one thing that gets me is the unibrow. Where'd it go?
Uh-oh.
I think the thing is with the unibrow, so everybody's like, these pictures aren't the same. I think the thing is what people need to realize is that cameras don't take the same picture, right? Like you could take a picture, you take 3 pictures with 3 different cameras and look completely different, or in 3 different situations, like you can turn and the light hits you a certain way and you can look like a completely different person.
Show me one picture of Anthony Davis without a unibrow.
Who's Anthony Davis?
What the fuck are you talking about?
What? Show me one picture of Anthony Davis of all the pictures. He's an all-star NBA player that plays on the Los Angeles Lakers. He played for the
we talked about him the week.
brow.
Oh.
There is of the thousands of pictures that were taken of Anthony Davis. All of them show the unibrow.
I get it. Yes, the unibrow's there, but what I'm just saying is that like a lot of time he had a mask on too, right? And so you can take a picture. We looked at pictures from the security camera, from the McDonald's, from somewhere else. I think from a car dash camera, all those cameras are going to present something different because of the light setting, because of what he's wearing, the look, like everything about it, that it can make you look wildly different is what I'm saying.
Charles, do you think that the prisons can hold Luigi?
Probably.
Don't you think he'll just escape through the pipes?
Luigi Mangione. All right, that's a great
Lisa
way to
says
end
you're
it.
right too, Charles.
If he escapes, we'll have him on the show to tell us how he did it. But thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode of the BCM Podcast. As always, I'm the C, Brad's the B, Michael's the M. If you liked this, please share it, tell your friends, comment. If you share it on social media, you might get a BCM hat, but not the one that Brad has because it has flakes from his head on that one. So Michael will send you a brand new one that is nice and clean and crisp.
Lisa's is in the mail.
Whose is?
Lisa's is in the mail.
Bye, Lisa. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for our other listeners. See you guys later. This is the end of the BCM Podcast. This number 6.